Namaskaram. I am Mr. Shyam Sundar from Mumbai. I am a Tamil teacher for Mumbai Tamil Sangam. I have been conducting class for the past 30 years. I am teaching for all types of people who are speaking different languages. I have taught many students like Bengali, Sindhi, Punjabi, Marathi and Gujaratis, many Tamil people. So this has been, I have been conducting every Sundays at Mumbai Tamil Sangam. Just as an introduction, I wanted to give you a background of Tamil, origin of Tamil today. See, I have written on the board the map of India. You see the map of India, this map was done in the year 26 Jan 50. Before this, the map was different because there were many other countries were together. After the bifurcation, see, we got independence 1947 and after 3 years became a republic. So due to that, there was a lot of bifurcation of the countries. So this is a map after 26 Jan 50. I have shown the direction, north, south, all this. Initially in India, there were only 4 zones which are controlled by central zone. North, south, east, west, like that. So I am going to take up this south zone from where the origin of Tamil took place. See, previously this zone was called as a southern zone, Madras constituency, under which there are 4 states like Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Okay, follow this now. See, our India, it is surrounded by water on 3 sides. India is surrounded by water on 3 sides. We call it as a peninsula. In Tamil, we call it as Karbagattivu. If the land is surrounded by 4 sides of water, we call island. That we say Tivu. So here, see, can you see this? This side is the Arabian Sea, the north Himalayas, and the south you find Bay of Bengal and Thoothukudi. And here on the tip of the south you find Cape Comorin, that's Kanyakumari. So when you take up this Kerala, Trivandrum is a capital and Cochin is a port. In the same way you find here Mumbai is a port. These are natural harbors. Why do you call natural harbors? Because when a ship enters the port, you should have an access to come back. That's called indent. So this in Kerala, Cochin is after Cochin you find there's a place called Kollam, which is previously called as Quaidon. So every day there was a train running between Kollam to Chennai. This area was called as a Travancore region because it was ruled by Travancore Maharajas. You find the 50% portion, see, from Kollam to here on the center part, this is called Tenkashi. Under which there is a fort ruled by the kings. It's called Shengotai. I have written here, Shengotai was a fort. In this area, in Tenkashi, you find a very beautiful waterfalls. It's called Kutralam. It's called Kutralam. So in this Kutralam only, the sage Agastya Muni, who found out the Tamils, we call this as the founder of Tamil Sangam. And his disciple named Tolgapiyar, who generated this grammar in Tamil. And moreover, you find that all over the world, Tamil people are settled, like Japan, USA, UK, Mauritius, Singapore, all those places. And every time, also in 10 years, there is a conference by all the people where you find that these people also speak Tamil in a very nice way. So this is a proof that this is the oldest language, very oldest language. So here from Shengotai, Agastya Muni, he was doing penance. So he was an ardent devotee of Lord Shanmugha or Subramanya. So it's said that Lord has ordered him to spread Tamil language. But Agastya Muni is also a scholar of Sanskrit, Tamil and Malayalam. You always find there is a combination of Tamil and Malayalam. But in Malayalam, you find most of the this thing is with Sanskrit. All the languages, it has got a Sanskrit base. But Tamil is a peculiar thing where you find Tamil and Malayalam, certain words which is not found in other languages. And apart from this, I would like to identify certain important personalities in South, like Subramanya Bharati was a national poet, was a communist mandate, but unfortunately he died at the age of 47. But he was called as a very national poet, and his poems were translated in Russia and all. And one more person in the literature, when you see, there is a lady called Avvaiyar, who was a daughter of Pallava king. She is called as a grand old lady of Tamil Sangam. And again, Thiruvalluvar. Tirukkural is one of the famous verses in Tamil. This is the first verses we translated all over the world in all the languages. It's got only two verses, which has got a hidden meaning. It gives something about advice, how the people should live, how a king should rule, how a mandri should be, how a wife should be, like that. It preaches all these things, advices to the people, mankind. So, nobody knew where Thiruvalluvar was born. Only we got his epics. Old epics. In the olden days, there was some system called, everywhere you find these kings, they construct a temple, and there will be a pond. But, certain poets, when they want to, in the olden days, there was no paper. They used to write in a papyrus leaf. It's called Yedu, we say. It is tied up with a thread. So suppose you are a poet, I am a poet. So there will always be competition. So you have to throw this Yedu in the river, the pond. Whichever floats, that won the competition. Whichever that go inside the water loses. So like that, many epics were spoiled. And apart from that, I would like to give the background that in the olden time, this southern province were ruled by 3-4 kings. Mainly when you take up the literature in Tamil, we speak only about 3 kings, Sera, Chola and Pandya. When you see, the Sera kingdom has become Kerala, and Chola become the Tanjore side and all, no? Tanjore, all those Kumbakonam, all those places, Karnataka. And Pandya ruled from Madurai to Kanyakumari. But I told you, for certain areas in the borders of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, there was Travancore Maharajas who ruled. They were under these Pandya kings. So when you speak about these scholars, apart from that, I would also want to identify certain national leaders like Kappaloti Tamilan. He is called Babu Chidambaram from Tuticorin. Then olden days, it was under British regime where they used to run the ships in our Indian soil without allowing our ship to go on. So Vavu Chidambaram, he wanted to run the ship in our Indian soil at Tuticorin, and he was an ardent devotee of Lokmanya Tilak, and he obtained sanctioned permission from Lokmanya Tilak, and he who drove our ship in our Indian Ocean first time. So that's why he got a title as Kappal Ottiya Kumar, Kappal Ottiya Chidambaram. Kappal Ottiya Chidambaram means Kappal means in Tamil it is called ship. Okay. Kappal Ottiya Tamilan. He was a Tamilian who first drove the ship in our Indian soil. So there are even national poet, and they were arrested in the British time, and they were tortured in the Andaman Nicobar jail, cellular jail, what you call. So in a Tamil, there are when you take about the vowels, we find there are 12 vowels in Tamil and 18 consonants. The derivation will be called, this vowel is called Uyir Elithu. Uyir means soul, and Mei means Sharira, it is body. So a soul cannot, it should have a body, it cannot live alone. The same way a body requires a soul. So that's why a beautiful name given as Uyir and Mei. The combination of this is called Uyir Mei Elithu, which you call it as Barakadi in your language. So when you totally take up, there are 12 vowels in Tamil and 18 consonants. And the derivation becomes 216 letters Barakadi. And there is one letter called Hagdu. This particular letter is found only in Tamil, because there are some letters like, for we in Tamil we write ha, bha, bha, everything same, ka, ga, ga, everything same. So, and apart from that, when you say the Uyir Elithu is 12, consonants is Mei Elithu, and 216 is this thing. And there is a letter I told you, it is special letter called Ayudha Elithu. Ayudha means weapon. Wherever we cannot have the letter in between, we use this letter. That is speciality of this letter. And there is a letter called Lo, which is found only in Malayalam and Tamil.